Hello, Nick here from TechNuovo and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm talking about this. It's the CI Touch from Melitta. Obviously, it's not here with me right now. It's over in the kitchen where it's been for the last few weeks. I've been using it every day, making 2 to 4 coffees, and here are my thoughts. Out of the box, it's quite a large machine with a size of 255 wide by 340 high and 450 deep. So if you've got a 600mm deep kitchen worktop, it will take up the majority of that depth, but it's not too wide, although you do need access to both sides. On the front and working top to bottom, various touch buttons for default coffees, hot milk, hot water, profiles, and coffee strength. Below that, a small coloured screen. To the left and to the right, a rotary push knob, which is used for controlling options. Centrally, a height adjustable outlet for the coffee, water, and milk. The milk is plugged in via the side and from a plastic tube that goes into an external milk jug. Below that is the drip tray, which holds used water and coffee grounds. You can pull that out, empty it and clean it. To the very top, a cup warming plate with metal grating, and behind that, the bean hopper and ground coffee chute. To the left-hand side of the machine is a removable 1 litre water tank, and to the other side is an access panel that you take off to access the brewing unit, which is where the magic happens. This here is the silver model, but they do an all black version too, which I haven't seen in person, but I do like the idea of all black. Overall, it looks quite modern, sleek, and sits nicely in my kitchen with the other appliances. In terms of features or spec, this is a bean to cup machine, so it has a built-in grinder that will grind whatever beans you wish, ready to put a shot. If you didn't want to use beans, you can pour in already ground coffee if you wish. It's a conical steel burr grinder with 5 levels of setting, and it's advertised as quiet, but it's not really quiet at all. More on that later. Quick buttons, all touch sensitive, for quick selection of espresso, cafe creme, cappuccino, and latte macchiato. Then the other touch buttons include milk froth, hot water, 2-cup dispensing, my recipes, and coffee strength. On top of those quick buttons, you can adjust the liquid quantity of those, plus within the menus adjust and create more types of drinks to suit your needs. The hopper, which holds the beans 270 grams worth to be exact, is actually split into 2, which allows you to have, if you wanted to, 2 different types of beans within one hopper, and you can manually flick the switch between the 2 to select. We only like 1 type of bean in my household, but I can see some value in having them split. It has an adjustable outlet, so you can put mugs and taller glasses underneath it. It cleans itself and descales. The brewing unit can be removed and cleaned, plus you can insert a water filter if you live in a hard water area. Power rating noted at 1400 watts with 15 bar pressure, and the retail price over here in the UK is £700 via the Melitta website. Setup was very straightforward: unbox, unwrap, and plug it in. Upon first boot up, you'll need to set the time and language, then test the water for hardness, tell the machine the result, which will then determine how often you need to clean it, or it will tell you to clean it. If you have hard water, you can use a water filter within the machine. You just put it in the water tank, or you can use bottled water if you wanted to, and I highly recommend doing something, as limescale could possibly kill this machine if you don't keep on top of it. Then fill the water tank with water and hopper with beans, and then start making some drinks. If you press down on the rotary knob, the options menu will appear. From there, you can adjust various things about the machine. Direct keys, they call them, but they are the quick buttons on the machine. You can go into one of those coffees, cappuccino for example, and adjust it. You can change the coffee amount in grams. Coffee strength is mild, normal, strong, or extra strong. Temperature, as in low, normal, or high, plus a froth amount too. There are also more coffees under the recipes, including Ristretto, Lungo, Americano, Espresso, Macchiato, Cafe Latte, and Cafe au lait. My coffee has 4 presets. You basically pick a base coffee, whatever you wanted, and adjust it to suit, and then save it. So rather than adjust the default cappuccino recipe, you can save your own cappuccino recipe, just in case you have people over that may not have the same taste as you. You can have your own coffee recipe, or they can have the default, and you're able to create 4 of those own recipes if you wanted to. Other options via the app are statistics, which is kind of cool. You can see how many drinks you've made, how many times it's been cleaned, etc. A care menu, options for manually choosing to descale, rinse, and so forth, rather than waiting for the machine to prompt you to do it. And if you want to go above and beyond the default cleaning setup, then a few other settings too, changing the time, date, and so forth. I'm a cappuccino man, so I need milk to make my coffee. That's where the milk container comes into play. It's a plastic container with a lid and a straw. You put your milk in, the machine sucks the milk through the straw, heats it, does its thing and dispenses it into your cup to make your drink. It's a fairly sealed container, so I ended up filling it with milk, keeping the milk in it and putting the container in the fridge until the following morning and using it again. It's very easy, it's all automatic and produces some nice hot frothy milk. In terms of performance, it makes a great cup of coffee once you've finessed how you're going to use it. And by that I mean there is a learning curve on liquid quantity, strength, coffee to milk ratio, etc. So once you've tried and tested all those options, worked out what you actually like and either remember it yourself or set up as a recipe, it's smooth sailing and very simple to make a coffee. The golden rule is to check liquid quantity or select it before you make a drink. The espresso comes out really nice, rich, creamy, nice crema when you swirl it around, and it tastes really good, or should I say it tastes as good as I believe it should be, using the same beans I had in my old machine. You'll see here I make a cappuccino in what I thought was a smaller glass mug than my normal one, but alas it actually wasn't. I set this to 190ml liquid, but clearly it wasn't enough. So in this instance I used the milk froth option to top it up to the top, or you could also use the hot water option if you wanted to. Tasty, lots of froth, and you can stir that and it mixes in quite nicely. Hot or hot enough for me. I can take a sip and think, yeah, nice, happy to put it on the table and leave it for a minute to cool down a little bit. That is on the normal temperature option. 2, there is a hotter option if you wanted it even hotter. Making a latte macchiato, the machine makes the milk first, then the coffee, which is how it's meant to be done, which is really good. As you can see, I've not selected the right size glass again. Cleaning the machine is somewhat automatic and it will rinse or flush through the system and pipes after every drink if you want, as well as when you turn the machine off or it turns itself off due to inactivity. You can then also run any of those cleaning processes yourself if you wanted to, as well as taking the brewing unit out and giving that a clean too. For descaling, the machine will prompt you as and when it's needed, and you'll have to put a descaling tablet into the brewing unit and it will do the cleaning itself. Cleaning is somewhat messy. You certainly need to wipe down the drip tray after each auto rinse or it will leave a milky residue and not look that great. The hot plate gets warm, which is really nice, but it does take a few minutes to get warm, i.e. you need to turn the machine on, leave it for 5 minutes to warm up, leave it for another 5 minutes or so to then even start to warm your cup up before using it, if you want a warm cup, that is. Noise, I touched on it earlier. Melitta say this is a quiet grind. There is nothing quiet about it, and I'm not sure it ever could be. I'm not sure it needs to be quiet. I'm quite happy to hear the beans grinding, makes it a little bit more authentic. For me, I use my travel cup every day for work to put my coffee in. It won't fit underneath the outlet, nor will some taller glasses. So I ended up making a coffee in a jug, then pouring it into my travel cup. That quantity too was an issue. One large coffee wasn't enough, so I'd either have to top up with extra milk or hot water or do a double cup shot or double coffee. But then that was 2 shots, so somewhat stronger than needed unless I had a bad night's sleep. Again, it goes back to knowing what settings to use to get what you want. Overall, I think it's a very, very good coffee machine. It's tidy, it looks good on my kitchen counter. It's near on automatic, one touch of the button and you can walk away. For regular coffees, it's easy. If you want something bigger or different, there's a learning curve there to be done, but I don't think that's much of a problem. At £700, it is an investment. And if you want ease, this might be for you, but in that price range, there are other options on the market. And if you want to become a bit of a barista, there are options out there that can give you that coffee shop experience if you wanted it. That's a wrap for this video. I'm going to keep using this for a little while longer, so if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below and I will try and get back to you.